We're having this discussion today because 50 years ago, LGBTQI plus people rioted for their rights at Stonewall in New York, an event that lit the spark for a global movement that has forced real significant change. At the forefront of those protests were trans women, most famously Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, among the first to resist the police that day. Marsha and Sylvia went on to open the first shelter for homeless LGBT youth in the US, and during the HIV/AIDS crisis, Marsha was active in ACT UP and supported gay friends during their illness. The example of these two courageous trans women shows how trans people have always been at the forefront of the LGBTQI plus movement. They also demonstrate how conservative forces have tried to exclude them from it, to suggest that in order to achieve respectability and mainstream acceptance, people who transgress gender norms should be pushed back into the shadows. That same process is unfolding in front of our eyes again today. Hashtags like LGBT without the T. Unfortunately, a growing number of TDs and senators are making the Oireachtas an echo chamber for these views. The usual suspects, like Ronan Mullen and Matthew McGrath, of course, oppose any progressive change that benefits oppressed groups, be it abortion rights for women or gender recognition for trans people. But increasingly, mainstream establishment politicians from Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil are jumping on the trans exclusionary bandwagon. Recently, Senator Lisa Chambers cited a small Irish clone of the transphobic LGB Alliance in the UK in her speech on the hate crime bill. A Fine Gael minister tried to use a small number of emails falsely to claim that ordinary people were more concerned about trans issues than the ending of the eviction ban. Of course, the media laps all of this up, eager for any controversy that will earn clicks and advertising revenue, no matter the impact on marginalised people. And all of this is being amplified and driven by the far right. Hateful slurs used against gay and lesbian people for decades are being reintroduced, first for use against trans people, and then all other LGBTQI plus people and their allies. One survey found that 87% of Irish LGBTQ plus people have experienced hate and harassment online in the last year. We're at the stage now where anyone who supports LGBTQI plus inclusive, progressive sex education is branded a paedophile on social media. A climate has been created where violent assaults on gay and lesbian people are a regular occurrence. 2022 was the most violent year for LGBTQ people in Europe in a decade. The latest example in Ireland was the horrific violent attack on a 14-year-old in Navan. Thankfully, there is a fight back. The vast majority recognise there is no LGBT without the T, and that trans rights are all of our rights.